Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen pure terror this week, and it came in the form of live-action Sonic the Hedgehog. What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Meek, the Uber Geek. Welcome to Pretty Dece, your daily entertainment and pop culture show. And we've known that this live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie was coming for a while, and we've known it's going to mix CG and live action. And I've certainly had my reservations about the film up until now. Sonic in general has been kinda sorta mostly bad for the past 20 years, and the movie seems like it's really going to follow that trend. They've certainly made some interesting, we'll say that, casting choices thus far. Jim Carrey, for example, is Dr. Robotnik, which I think is maybe amazing, maybe completely terrible, probably completely terrible. And this week we got the first look at the film, the first images from the film in the form of a kind of a teaser video, but really more of just the poster for the film featuring an outline of Sonic the Hedgehog from the movie. You can't fully see him, you see this kind of silhouette, and you can see just enough to get the sense that he's truly terrifying. He's tall and lanky. He's far more human than you're used to Sonic looking. His legs and his thighs specifically are strangely muscular and defined in a way that is really truly unsettling. His fingers are extra long, that like way longer than human fingers and way longer than you would imagine a regular Sonic fingers to be. He doesn't have the usual Sonic gloves that you would think of Sonic the Hedgehog wearing. In fact, it appears that he's not wearing pants at all, which looks especially weird on this humanoid figure. You're used to that with Sonic the Hedgehog, but not in something that looks a lot more human than that. He looks like a thing that you would see walking out of the darkness in a horror movie, like lurking up behind a tree, where you can only get glimpses of what it actually is. All you see is fur and long fingers and rippling muscles. It's not something that really makes me want to see this movie. Predictably, the internet hated this and reacted with laughter and kind of just genuine fear about this being the representation of Sonic that this movie is going to be putting forth. Lots of people wondering why Sonic was so swole. That was really the main concern that people brought up. Lots of really hilarious fan art that came out of that so far. And there were a lot of comparisons brought up between this film, what we've seen so far of this film here, and Detective Pikachu. Both are films where well-known, beloved animated heroes, animated stars, animated characters are thrust into a live-action world. And from the Detective Pikachu trailer, that movie seems to really be nailing it. They've done a good job at reimagining these characters subtly, kind of as needed, so they fit in the real world without making them super jarring or terrifying or like way too human, way too real. They essentially took exactly what you expect of Pikachu and made him a bit more furry so he worked in the real world. And here they've taken what you know of Sonic and stretched him out and morphed him onto someone who's way into CrossFit, and it's really, really unsettling. So, movies doing similar things, but getting it completely different, at least as what we've seen so far. Frankly, I can't wait to see more of this awful train wreck. If this is what Sonic looks like, imagine what the rest of his dumb friends are going to look like. And imagine what the abomination that is Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik is going to look like. It's certainly going to be this weird, crazy, uncanny valley between Jim Carrey and Dr. Robotnik, and it's going to be complete madness. I'm calling it right now. So, as it's stacking up right now, Sonic the Hedgehog, which doesn't come out until towards the end of next year, looks like it might be the most unintentionally horrific film of all time. So that's going to do it for Pretty Dece for today. Thank you very much for joining me to talk about this horrifying, unsettling image that is Sonic the Hedgehog. If you have not seen it, please go seek it out. It is worth gawking at this week on the internet. If you want to support Pretty Dece, you can do so. Visit prettydeceshow.com/listener support to find out those details. Of course, download the podcast wherever you download your podcasts from. You can also watch the show on YouTube. Just visit youtube.com/PrettyDece. And of course, hit me up on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram @PrettyDeceShow.